everyone. My name is Stacy Wixall, and I'm here today to talk about how to use our new resource called Creativebug, and also to talk about the program called contour painting. So you have at the end a really cool animal portrait. But the first thing I want to do is to share my screen. So let me do that. So you should all be able to see that I've shared my screen and we are now on the Macedon Public Library site. If you're listening in, if you could just verify that you can see the Macedon Public Library website, that would be awesome. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So I want to start here because for anyone who hasn't tried Creativebug yet, I want to show you how you get to Creativebug. So I have it right here in the menu on our website. So if I just click Creativebug, it will take me over to Creativebug. And once again, can you verify that you can also see Creativebug? The screen should have changed.
Yes.
Okay, good. So once you get onto the Creativebug site, what you're going to want to have is your library card, because what they ask you to do right off is to log in. Now, if your library card is from a different library, say a library in the Rochester system or a library that's not the Macedon Public Library, then this site may not work for you. This site will work for you if you have a card that was actually issued by this library. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my number so that I can talk a little bit more about Creativebug. So here I am, I'm into the site. As you can see across the top, we have some menus. We have classes, and there's a whole host of different types of classes. There's probably something for everyone here. So you have art and design classes, you have sewing classes, quilting, paper crafting, knitting, crochet, food and home, jewelry, and holiday and party. Just all sorts of things. And then you'll notice that when I hover over one, there are all these sub menus. So if you're really into art and design, you may look at all these different areas and decide, ooh, I really like to paint. And you could click on painting and you could dig a little deeper to find a project you might want to learn more about. Also, we have inspiration. So inspiration is mostly, well, let's click on calendar. In the calendar, you can see the newest things that they've released for the month. There are inspiration feeds. So these are typically images that have been shared by people that are using the Creativebug resource from across the country. You can see what other people are doing. It might give you an idea of something you might want to try. There's a pattern library. So if you're into fiber arts, I would call them, all kinds of different patterns. There are class collections. So different classes, maybe you're into leather, so you could click on this and it would be a whole collection of leather classes. And instructors, you can find out who the different teachers are that teach for Creativebug. Maybe you take a class and you really like it and you can't remember the teacher's name, but if you could just see a picture, it would help you to remember. This is a good place to go for that. Most of the teachers have several classes in Creativebug, so if you take one class and you really like it, there's a good chance you're going to want to take another class. And you can search. Let's say you took a class from Amanda Brown and you had to come here to remember her name. you could click on her, or if you remembered her name, you could put it in the search box and it would bring up all of her different classes. So I'm going to go back to the main page by clicking on this logo, and I'm just going to click on view all classes right now. So the class that we are going to do today is the one called Animal Portraits. And as I type, you'll see it popped up at the bottom. It saves me typing everything in. And it's doodle and paint an animal portrait. So I'm going to go to the class. And here is the cat that the instructor actually, I'm just going to click that because obviously, oops, got ahead of myself. I've already taken the class, so I'm going to start over for you guys. But you'll see before we look at the movies, you'll see they give you a brief overview. Then you have 6 minutes where she talks about the different materials she used to paint the kitty cat picture you saw a minute ago. She talks about what a blind contour warm-up is and drawing. She actually paints the portrait, and you can watch her paint from start to finish, which is really interesting, especially if you are not someone who has a lot of painting experience. It could be helpful to watch how she does it. And she talks about how to enhance the portrait at the end. Now, we're not going to watch this whole series right now, but I do want to first, I'm going to share the overview with you. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I did because as I said, I took the class. I'm going to share my experiences with it and some of my rough drawings and the pictures I used, and I'll show you my final. I did too. I'll show you my final products. And then after all that, if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask. So let's see the overview.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mercedes. I'm a painter who loves to paint abstract as well as animals. In this class, we're going to be spending a lot of time actually looking at what we're drawing. We're going to be doing some blind contour. We're going to really dive into connecting to what you see and drawing that. And at the same time, we're going to play with, it not being a perfect drawing. So we get to look at these cute animals and have fun. And then we're going to spend time painting them in and adding a little bit of doodling on top. It's really fun because we're not worried about this animal being perfect. We'll also spend some time playing with color, experimenting with putting one color next to another and having fun in that way. So let's grab some pictures of cute animals and use them as a tool to help us let go of things being perfect, letting go of the outcome, and an opportunity to play.
Okay, so you probably noticed that her kitty cat painting is very whimsical. She uses colors. Some colors in the kitty cat are realistic colors that you would actually see on a cat. And some of her colors are crazy colors, like you probably would never see a cat with aqua stripes, for example. She even integrates words into her picture, which is also a point of interest. Now I am going to stop sharing my screen so that you can see me bigger. And well, I can't get myself to come back bigger. Well, that's okay. So I'm going to share the pictures that I used. So in order to paint your painting, you're going to need a reference photograph. Now, if you are a photographer, as I know one person in the class is, then you don't have to worry about copyright because you already have photographs that are your own original photographs. So copyright isn't really an issue for you. However, if you're not a photographer, which I am not, then you need to find a source for copyright-free pictures. And a great source for that is pixabay.com. That's Pixabay.com. And that's where I found my pictures. Now my pictures are going to look kind of green because I did them at home and my printer ink is running out. So they didn't come out in color like they should have, but you'll get the idea. So the first picture I was attracted to, I thought this piggy was pretty darn cute. Now, I knew that I wanted to focus on the pig's face, and that's exactly what I did. I focused on the piggy's face. Now, she's going to tell you that you will need a simple ballpoint pen and some paper. Just printer paper works fine, and that's what I had. So what you will do is you will take your animal picture, like in my case, it's the pig, and you will take your paper and you will look at your picture, only the picture, and not look down, and just try to draw what you see in the picture without looking, and as much as possible without lifting up your pen. So I'm going to show you, and they're kind of funny. I remember doing this years and years ago when I was in high school, and I used to like to do it back then, but I haven't done any of this kind of thing for many years. So here's my first attempt at the piggy. Pretty funny, right? I wasn't super crazy about that piggy. So that's okay. It's your first time. Your first one is probably going to be a bummer. So I did it again, and here's my piggy the second time. And I thought, well, that one's not too bad, but I just feel like I want to have another go at it. So then I did it a third time, and I got, I can't get the pages apart. I got this piggy, and I liked him okay, but I still thought, I don't know, maybe just one more time. So you can be doing practice contour drawings as many times as you want till you get really comfortable with whatever your subject matter is. So for in my case, I thought it wasn't 3 that was the charm, it was 4. I really thought this piggy turned out pretty good. Now I'm sure you're all noticing that this piggy is a lot darker looking than the previous piggies. And there's a reason for that. So in the movie, the teacher, who is an artist, is going to go straight from practice to her wood panel with her pen and just do another fresh contour drawing right on the wood. And I thought, that's really cool, but the wood can get, I mean, I had 2 wood panels, and I just thought I really kind of like both of them to turn out, and I wasn't comfortable enough to go from a few practice drawings right onto the wood with a pen. So I thought, how can I transfer my piggy picture to the wood so I know the contour drawing I did is actually the one that will be on the wood, and I won't mess up my wood. So what I did was I got a soft pencil, and if you had anything like charcoal, you could even use crayon if you had a black crayon. Although I wouldn't recommend crayon as much because the paint will want to resist. I'd recommend like a soft pencil or a charcoal. And I just colored, you can sort of see the lines after you do your drawing. You can see them on the back side, right? I colored over all the places where I could see through that I had drawn. And then I turned it over and I put it on my wood panel. And so I have a piece of wood here. I put it on my wood panel, took my pen, and I traced really hard over all the lines of my pig's face. And then when I lifted it up, I had my contour drawing transferred onto the wood. And I'm really glad I did it that way, because for me, it took the fear out of it. Now I know part of the whole point of the process is not to be afraid, but I think if you're a beginner or you haven't painted in a while and things are expensive, I think it's okay if you do a transfer. But that's up to you. If you're brave, go for it. Get your pen and go right onto the wood. Now, I can't show you what it looked like while I was painting because I couldn't figure out a really good way to record myself painting. And anyway, you probably would be bored watching me because I'm not actually an artist. But this is how my piggy turned out. So on my piggy, I'm just not that whimsical, I guess. My
No,
piggy,
that's cute.
is pink, like a pig would be, with some brown. I did add some words, and I used some pig because I'm a fan of E.B. White. And if you've read Charlotte's Web, you know some pig. Um, I I don't have any words on his face, but that's how my piggy turned out, and I'm kind of happy with him. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put him, but I do want to find a home for him. So that's my piggy. So the second one I did, because I'm like, hey, this is kind of fun. And so I decided, I really, really like birds. So I went to Pixabay and I found it's actually a cardinal, but again, my printer, my printer ink was running out. So it's actually a red cardinal, but in this faded ink version, it looks yellow, but it was a red cardinal sitting there picking out at a bird feeder. And I thought, that's really cute. So I'll show you my contour drawings. So the first one, I don't know why, I think I was interrupted. I think one of my kids had a question and I stopped, and then, so I got that far, and it's okay, but it's not complete. And then I did my second one. And there's my second one. And I was okay with that. And actually, I think doing a bird and a bird feeder is a lot easier subject matter than trying to do a pig. So I actually did go from this little bit of practice straight to my wood. And this is my cardinal picture. So on the cardinal picture, and I don't know if you can see it, I'm trying to get close to the camera here. And all I can see is a postage stamp version of the video. So can you see I wrote nom 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 because he's sitting there probably pigging out on all the bird seed. This one I felt like it turned out pretty good, except I had a little problem figuring out how to do his eye. But other than that, I thought it turned out fairly well. Again, I'm not that whimsical, I guess. So I don't have any silly colors. I don't have any, except for the nom 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 going down the bird feeder. I don't have any words integrated. But I could have chosen to paint this, or with the pig as well. I could have chosen to use, you know, whimsical colors. It's just you got to be true to yourself. So if for you would find it fun to use crazy colors and maybe add patterns, like I could have put crazy polka dots all over the bird or something. Like if that really excites you and appeals to you, then you should go for it. But if not, that's okay too, because at the end of the day, you want to like the work that you produce. And also, I think the most important part about this is just learning to look at a picture and having the focus to try to transfer what you're seeing directly out the head of your pen onto the paper. And again, you're not looking at your paper. It's kind of like when you took typing in high school, don't look. If you look, you're going to fail. It's kind of like that. Don't look at your paper. You're looking at the picture because it forces you to really pay attention where you are on the lines in the picture, if you understand what I'm saying. I think if you try this project, you will see pretty quickly what I mean, because it's almost like you have to pretend that you're one with the pen, and that where you're looking, like your eyes are adjusting, and where you're looking with your eye is where your pen is going. Does that make sense to people? Oh, the other tip I want to tell you. So I got these little wood canvases easily enough right at Walmart. I think they were between $3.50 and $4 each, which isn't super expensive, but I didn't want to mess them up. I wanted them to turn out kind of good. So it says wood canvas on the back, if you can see that tag. And the dimensions I have here are 6 by 8. I did paint the edges because I thought when you hang it on the wall, it might give it a nicer look, but you could leave your edges natural. And I do know what I'm gonna do with my bird one. I'm gonna put like a ribbon at the top, and the way our door is, I can't have a wreath. So I thought this would be a nice alternative to a wreath on your front door. So maybe some of you might take that idea and run with it as well. But whatever you do, I would love to see the animal portraits people come up with. Even if you just share it with me, that would be fun. And if you email me the picture, like take a picture of your picture with your camera and email it to me. I'd love to see what you do, and let me know if I have permission to share it with other people, because I could post it on our website, maybe even send a picture of your picture to the newspaper, because I think this is a really fun project. I know I really had a lot of fun with it. Um, does anybody have any questions?
No, not so far.
No? I forgot to tell you what kind of paint. Of course, the teacher's going to tell you anyway, but
Acrylic?
acrylic paint. Yeah. Now you can use like student level acrylic paint, which you can find at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, or even the kind that comes in a little bottle. Like a lot of times people use those to paint like little wooden craft projects. That's fine too, and those are the least expensive.
What about
Um,
nail polish?
not nail polish.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, if you wanted to be adventurous and try nail polish, you could let me know how that goes, but I feel like you'd have to buy a lot of nail polish to cover this much space. And for anybody who's listening, wondering why somebody would ask me about nail polish, it's because at the library we have a laser cutter and engraver. And oftentimes we make little jewelry pieces and things, and we use nail polish because it works really well to paint the little items we make, but they tend to be small things. This would take a considerable amount of nail polish. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Well, I hope you try this project, and I also hope that you will dive into Creativebug and find other cool things that appeal to you to try out. And anytime anybody tries anything in Creativebug, if they want to share it, I would love to see what you're doing. I find it to be a great resource, and I wish I had time to do so many things on this resource. There just aren't enough hours in the day. It's got so many fun things to do. So hopefully you'll find lots of fun things you want to do too. So that's all I have for everyone today, and I hope you enjoyed the program. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.